We're live. You hear me? We speak in English? Hello? Okay, this is probably fine. Evil. I don't like that one. An eyeball. I don't like that. Okay, we got an eyeball. I have this other prompt book. I have a book of prompts. So we're going to combine an eyeball with an old pocket watch. Oh boy. We need to combine a pocket watch and an eyeball. You actually know what? You know what? That'll be pretty easy, knowing my old style. By old style, I mean just general creepiness. Lots of eyeballs. I have like a sketchbook dedicated to eyeballs. I need to make sure that this is in the camera. There we go. I have lost my pen. Okay, here we go. And boop. Nope, this. Boom, boom. And we begin. I think I should attach it to the hand. I don't feel like I should do that. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a real big eyeball. Small hand. I don't feel like editing a video, so I went live. And this is what I get, I guess. I'm gonna probably edit this video later. It's too late in the night. It's like 3 in the morning. No, it's not. It's 8. Beautiful, but like still. School in the morning. I hate school. Whoop. Transform. Move it down a bit. Okay, there we go. Next we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. How do I attach that to an eyeball? Should I make that the pupil? I should attach it to the pupil while attaching it to the pupil. That's the little thing they have on them, like the little switchy thing. I'm gonna do that in a adult color there. And for the pupil, it shall be black. Squiggly. Okay, that's too big of a squiggly line. We're gonna up there and boom. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Little highlight. That'll be the highlight. This will be the pupil. That'll be like the coloring bit of it. It's all coming together. You know, fun fact. Those two bits, they actually pop out just slightly from the eye. Just slightly. Minuscule level. This thing is going to be bloodshot. Ooh, we should attach it. It's cold. Wait, should I have made that the cold? I should have made that the cold. Yeah. No, it will take away from the old pocket watch theme. Okay, never mind. Ooh, wait, should I give this hands? I should give it hands like a clock. I'm going to write on it. Okay, 1. That is not how you... Okay. So, angling like this. The 1 would be like right here. The 2 would be right here. The 3 would be right here. The 4 would go like right here. 5 is here. Wait, no, I made the 5 and the 4 and the 3 too close. Okay, I need to up the 3 a bit. Right here. That's the 3. That one. So the 4 would be like right-ish here, and the 5 would be like right here, and the 6 is here. There. I don't know. Let's give it a random time. What time is it? No, that's not what time we're going to do. We're going to do 3 a.m. Is it 3 in the afternoon? Is it 3 in the morning? You never know. I'm going to change this to like the eyeball mucus thing. No, we'll keep it the chain. Okay. This is taking a lot of effort. Wait, no. I'm gonna make it red. The chain will be red. All our little flail off bits, like one does. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Why would anyone do this? Like, why would anyone make this for the alts? Obviously, this sounds like a masterpiece. It's like amazing. I would take someone's eyeball and attach hands and write littles on their eye just to make this in real life. Oh, it's so cool looking. I should give it a background. The background would be full of faded out like meals and stuff. A grandfather clock. No. Boom boom bum sucker. Suki dai suki. Gasoline Cherokee. Boom boom boom. That is not a grandfather clock. Okay. It's a boathouse thing. An alarm clock. An alarm bell. And this one will also have like eyeballs on it, except it's the eyeballs are the numbers. At least what the numbers would be. And they all point to different times. Except one of them has the true time, which, okay, never mind, I just did the same thing I just did. Okay. Short hand, go heal. Long hand, go heal. Excellent. I need a big it's a clock, dude. There we go. Okay, let's make it much better. I can draw a circle. Yeah, I'm a professional artist. This is my job. Just kidding, I'm like a minor who's unable to be a employee.
I forgot we have reading. How come we have reading? Did they look?
Huh?
No.
Hickey.
You were supposed to read the answer and
Oh, I'm mentally. My sibling is annoying.
Yeah, it's not gonna be hard.
My sibling is so annoying.
Aren't you glad we read it already?
No, that's how you do it.
So then we didn't have to read it tonight. So, yep.
With a can. Whoop. Beep. Bong. Yeah, that'll do nicely. That'll do really nicely. Wait. I just forgot that says no absolute value. Okay, never mind. Back to pen. And we're inking over this. Okay, there.
Are you sleepy, Bree?
No, that's too small of a pen. Why is the pen so small size?
Sleepy.
Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna get a quick shower. Sissy and I are right over here.
Boom, boom. Yeah, girl. One moment. You ain't seeing none of this. Nothing is happening. Oopsie. Wait, I'll get copyrighted for the music. No.
Just know it. I'll tell him that I've solved the lore of his games and constructed a timeline. And once he's there, I'll have him. And once I have him, he'll be mine forever. There's only one thing that could possibly go wrong. FNAF 2 before all the animatronics are possessed? How can Springtrap be experimenting with Remnant when he's sealed in a wall? Answer me! I don't know. That's exactly what I worry might go wrong. No! Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, getting burned by hippos since 2018.
Not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says. You'll just drive yourself crazy.
Kinda harsh there, Scott. Speaking of stories, last FNAF Theory, I was at the lowest of lows. The survival logbook threw a lot of weird curveballs into the lore that I don't think anyone was really expecting. Reveals like Michael Afton being the bike victim were interesting, but also really difficult to explain away. And that's where things sat until now. With both the release of the final FNAF book, The Fourth Closet, and what seems to be the final FNAF game, Super FNAF Brothers Ultimate. They're all here. And now with both these releases, we're finally in a position to see all the puzzle pieces we're working with, which means one last examination of the franchise from top to bottom, starting with Custom Night this week, and then next week stepping back and looking across the entire timeline to see if we can wrap things up in a neat blood-soaked bow now that we can see all the events and key players. So step through the curtain, Funtime Foxy, because the show's about to start. It's time for me to pull a Candy Cadet and tell you a story of anger that never dies, a story of never-ending suffering. And I'm not just talking about me trying to write these theories. Today, I tell you the story of how Ultimate Custom Night ends the FNAF franchise in the same place where it all began. As soon as you start playing Custom Night, you can tell that Scott's up to his usual tricks. Yeah, that. But beyond being gaming's biggest troll, Scott has clearly taken a game that most of us assumed was just a fun little add-on to capstone the series and has used it to deliver a full-on 100% canon addition to the franchise, complete with huge lore reveals mostly hidden in character dialogue once you die, which is pretty nice considering you die a lot in this game. A lot. Oh, yeah, I totally let Night Marion kill me at 3 a.m. on purpose. I just really wanted to see what she would say in this case. What, you guys don't believe me? Seriously, I'm good at this game. I did it for the lore. I did it for the lore. Through these
Any long video. No, don't make it big. I need to skip the ad.
Hi, I'm Masahiro Sakura. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the new Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo Switch. Many players have appeared in the series. I'm sure you're all eager to find out who will be joining the roster this time. Please, take a look.
I'm currently jamming out to this. No, too big.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to
Biggest
Game
biggity.
Theory, the William Afton of YouTube. I always come back. So here's something crazy. You know how every FNAF game
I'm
has
always
5
come
nights,
back.
a bonus 6th night that gives you more lore hints, and then a challenge mode 7th night where you customize all the animatronics? Well, look at the games. We have 5 main games bearing the 5 nights title, a bonus 6th game that was mostly for lore, and now a 7th standalone release where you customize the animatronics. The game releases directly mirror the gameplay. Either Scott is a mad genius or I'm thinking about things way too hard.
You try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says. You'll just drive yourself crazy.
I heard you last time, Mr. Hippo. But guess what, you Barney rejects? Reading into every little thing is the only
You
way to
Barney
have this series
reject.
make any sort of sense whatsoever. Case in point, today's episode. With the final novel out and Ultimate Custom Night picked to shreds, it finally feels like the story of FNAF is at its end. Or at least the Afton storyline is at its end. The series will probably come back and tell another story in the same universe later. I mean, it's exactly what Scott did with FNAF 4, the quote-unquote final chapter, of the original FNAF story. I see what you did there, Scotty. It's the final chapter of the original story. But oh no, friends, he wasn't done. He even ended that teaser with a question mark and you brightened that screen up enough. Man, Scott, you really wanted to leave the door open for more games in the series, didn't you? You were milking it more than I was. Or, I guess we're both milk babes at the teach of Freddy Pascal. Anyway, at least in FNAF world, the pieces are in place for us. So it's time to take one final step back and put every single one of those pieces together into this, my final timeline for the final FNAF game. Noah, let me save you some work. If you brighten the image you see on screen right now, you'll see that there's a question mark there, since, you know, I've always come back. And if he comes back, well, I gotta pull myself a Samurai Freddy and pursue the anime box of truth wherever it may lead. Let's do this. Now, putting together a final timeline of events for this series is incredibly challenging and requires us covering a lot of really minute details from literally every element the series has ever released. This is my longest, most involved theory in 7 years, covering every square inch of the series. So fair warning that this episode is not for the faint of heart. It is extreme. A way for me to simultaneously collect my knowledge of the minutiae of the series, all while trying to come up with a satisfactory answer to pretty much every question it has ever thrown our way. And of course, there are some questions that don't have clean answers, which I'll be calling out for you as I go. So for those of you who want to take the challenge and attempt a timeline on your own, let me first explain my thought process. As I was writing this episode, there are 3 hard and fast rules that I applied. First, it's important to note that I put greater emphasis on information that was released more recently in the series. While, yes, everything in the series is important, by FNAF 4, and even more so Sister Location, we can assume that Scott had a complete picture of the story in his mind. It's easy to forget that FNAF 1 was going to be Scott's final game after years of trying to be a game designer and hitting dead ends. Do you really think that he imagined a lore so deep that it would cover 8 games, 5 books, and countless teasers, that he predicted his story would be so massively popular that it would involve undead purple people way back when we were all just making memes about Foxy, Swiggity, Swooty coming for that booty? Probably not. So it's safe to assume that the newest information we're getting in games is the most accurate in pointing to the final story he's looking to tell. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, adhering to key dates and events. Now, there isn't much that's certain in the story, which means that the things we do know must serve as fixed points that the other details fit around. We know for a fact from FNAF 1 phone calls that the animatronics are allowed to walk around freely until the bite of 87. We know from FNAF 3 calls that golden spring-locked suits are eventually retired to a back room after a tragedy at a sister location, the FNAF 4 Bites, which itself takes place in 1983. FNAF 3 also tells us that at some point William Afton tries to dismantle the robot, whose spirits rebel, causing him to
robots.
spring trap, eventually getting himself sealed up behind a wall until the workers at Fazbear Bright discover his body and set him loose again. Details like those have to be our guideposts if we're having any hopes of getting anywhere in the story. And lastly, rule number 3, realizing that this isn't just a simple linear timeline. It's clearly established in the games that multiple Fazbear locations exist at the same time, but that the events in one affect what happens in other locations. For proof, just look at Phone Guy in FNAF 3.
Welcome to your new career as a performer, entertainer, for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Right now, we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous spring-lock failures, the company has deemed the suits temporarily unfit for employees.
This not only tells us that the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza had 2 golden suits, but also that the first Freddy's was open at the same time as the FNAF 4 Freddy's. The spring-lock failure in the FNAF 4 location prompted the yellow suit to be retired in the FNAF 1 location. In short, a lot of these events overlap. Restaurants often stay open for years beyond what we see in the games, and everything weaves together in a way that's much more complicated than simply saying, this restaurant opened, kids died, it closed. The next one opened, kids died again, it closed. In all honesty, I suppose you could simplify it to that level, but we're not going to. I am holding myself to a higher standard. A slightly higher standard, but a higher standard nonetheless. So with those 3 logical rules in place, let's get analyzing. To begin, we have to identify who William's first victim was. Now, I covered FNAF a lot, but in all my theories, one thing has remained consistent since FNAF 2, that the puppet was first. Henry's daughter. She is the character who gives life to all the other animatronics, so it would just make sense for her to be victim numero uno. But outside of that, it's always been just an assumption. And now that we've seen the event actually take place in the games, I think I've been wrong about it this entire time. Think about it. We have proof that William kills Henry's daughter in FNAF 6, but as I talked about in a previous theory, we see that later that night, Afton goes to a place called Junior's where he's turned away at the door. Now, why would Scott show us this? FNAF 6 was all about tying up loose ends. He's not just going to throw in a random bar to establish that the Mustard Man is an alcoholic or anything. He's doing it to establish a timeline. The only time we hear of anyone being turned away from any building for any reason in the series is in FNAF 2.
From what I understand, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees.
And the name Juniors makes sense in Scott's classic way of giving us clues that are meant to clarify things, but really just end up confusing all of us. Remember, FNAF 2's location is the grand reopening, a second Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria location, a junior location, if you will. And lastly, to further solidify the puppet coming later in the timeline, remember why Freddy's closed in the first place. It wasn't due to murders or animatronics going haywire. According to the FNAF 1 newspapers, people just got weirded out by a place where kids disappeared. Quote, after a long struggle to stay in business after the tragedy that took place there many years ago, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has announced that it'll close by year's end. End quote. This all means that the missing children's incident where 5 kids go missing at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza must be the first event of the timeline. William Afton uses the spring bodysuit to lure 5 kids to the back employees-only safe rooms that we hear about in FNAF 3, hiding their dead bodies in animatronic suits. We can even figure out the order of Whiskey Win based on clues hidden in Ultimate Custom Night. We know with 100% certainty that Chica was first based on one of her death lines. That's about as explicit as you get with these games. From a storytelling standpoint, I hate that she gets first because it really should have been Golden Freddy, so he could be the first spirit killed and the final spirit to haunt Afton in Custom Night, but whatever. Chica, aka Susie, is death number 1. She's lured away by Afton, telling her that her dog died. We see it in FNAF 6's Fruity Maze. We also read about it in the 4th closet. Quote, beside them was a little girl with blonde curls. I heard Daddy say he was hit by a car, but I knew it wasn't true. Bonnie told me it wasn't true. He said he found my puppy. And did he take you to your puppy? He took me, but I don't remember. My name's Susie. We even hear about it in the Chica anime cutscenes from Custom Night.
I told him that someone ran over his dog in front of my house.
Jeez, Scott, I know we were all looking for answers, but man, you beat that one over the head, didn't ya? Not that I'm complaining, but that one was a bit overly obvious, and then all the other ones are just so damn obscure. Just gotta find a better balance here, man. From there, we know that 4 other kids get taken and stuffed into suits. We know their names based on the gravestones at the end of FNAF 6. Gabriel, Fritz, Jeremy, and Grass. Hey, who are we to judge what other people name their kids? Probably some celebrity's kid. Oh, you must meet my children. This is Apple, Audio Science, and Grass. All joking aside, though, loyal theorists will remember this last grade was giving me a lot of trouble during the past theory. You see, this book, the FNAF Survival Logbook, holds a ton of reveals about the franchise, but they're all hidden in code. Some I was able to deduce. Some left me stumped. But a few hours after releasing my video covering the book, the mystery was solved by the brilliant deduction of game theorist subreddit user DPowerful1. DPowerful1 used the numbers that I had found, 52, 39, 15, 7, 2, 10, 11, 8, 11, and put them not into an alphabet grid for ciphers like I've been doing, and like the book was clearly hinting words, but instead put them into the word search, of all places. Using the numbers as coordinates in the word search, you could spell the name Cassidy, a name that must belong to Golden Freddy based on the repeated use of Golden Freddy's signature line of "It's me" throughout the book, the gravestone imagery which lines up with the 5th mystery gravestone at the end of FNAF 6, and a mention of Cassidy in the final FNAF novel, The 4th Closet. And that would be more than enough proof, but it's not all. In the novel, Cassidy is described described as a girl with black hair. And what do we see in the logbook? The puppet giving cake to a little girl with black hair. The only human child in the logbook, no less. And it's happening on a page talking about your happiest day. A direct reference to the happiest day minigame from FNAF 3, where the puppet gives cake to Golden Freddy in an effort to release its soul. You can even hear a girlish laugh every time Golden Freddy is summoned way back in FNAF 1. Literally everything about this reveal lines up. Everything, of course, except for the pronoun of he being used to talk about the one you should not have killed throughout Custom Night, which, as we established last episode, is referring to Golden Freddy. But consider this, Golden Freddy is a male character. He's Freddy Fazbear, he's Fredbear, regardless of the spirit that possesses him, so the gender confusion works here. Scott even used that to his advantage in the casting call, where he was specifically looking for auditions where, quote, the gender should not be immediately clear. It should work as either a young boy or a young girl. Now, teaching kids that gender is fluid, but only if you spend 4 years teaching apart its obscure lore. Yeah, by the way, FNAF is 4 years old this August. It's crazy, right? Wow, I've been doing this for a long time. The last thing to say about Golden Freddy is proving that he gets possessed here, at the first Freddy Fazbear Pizza location, rather than in FNAF 4, like most of us have assumed in the past. You see, in Ultimate Custom Night, you get an item called a death coin that can eliminate one animatronic from the game. But if you use it on Golden Freddy, you don't eliminate it from the game, you just get jump scared by Fredbear, and then hear some strange sounds. Huh, it almost sounds like Fredbear is underwater, which we all know is going to be terrible for those spring locks. Anyway, I played around with those audio files and got them to here. Laughter, obviously. Let's find a suit that's right for you. And there was more fantasy and fun where I came from. That last one feels really random, right? Like, "Arr, I'm an angry spirit who just killed you, but let me tell you about my love of fantasy, berries, and long walks on the beach first. I'm very in touch with my emotions." However, the phrase is a direct reference to the first game of the franchise, where Phone Guy welcomes you to
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life.
It's got telling us that Golden Freddy is the same spirit who speaks to the crying child via the Fredbear plush at the end of FNAF 4, but who dates all the way back to the first pizzeria and the missing children's incident.
Follow time, you have green skin.
Gotta get out. Gotta find.
Phew, you got all that? Good, because that's the easy stuff. Well, not easy, obviously, considering I'm on page 4 of this script and I've only just talked about the first event in the series. But there is consistent logic and evidence to back it all up. However, it's at this point that things get messy from a timeline standpoint. You see, right now there are two dangling threads of events that directly conflict with each other. One, the first Freddy Fazbear location has to close so it can reopen sometime before 1987. However, it has to remain open at least until 1983 when the FNAF 4 bug happens. The event that prompts Phone Guy to call back to the FNAF 1 location, informing them that the Springlock suits are being retired.
Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Right now, we have two specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous Springlock failures, the company has deemed the suits temporarily unfit for employees.
This is important because Phone Guy later makes a point of saying that the Spring Body suit is still being moved,
Management has also been made aware that the Spring Body animatronic has been noticeably moved.
which implies that Afton is still using it to kill kids, aka the missing children's incident is still going on even after the fight of 1983. That would all be fine except for point number 2. According to Ant Unit and sister location, Circus Baby's Pizza World is opened after Freddy Fazbear's is closed.
Due to the massive success and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment.
Again, this wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for the empty girl's bedroom that we see in FNAF 4. As we established in a previous episode using the FNAF survival logbook, the crying child is Michael Afton, which would make this his sister's room, Elizabeth Afton, the girl who gets herself clawed and goes on to possess Baby on opening day of Baby's Pizzeria. That's why she's missing and why her room is empty. But that can't happen.
Brown, I hate
Freddy
that
is
color.
still
I hate
open.
it.
Freddy's can't be closed until the fight of 83 causes the spring lock to be retired so that Phone Guy can make a call. You see the problem there? Do you understand why creating a timeline of all this stuff is so darn complicated? Anyway, to move forward, we have to apply rule number 1 that I talked about earlier and throw out some of the Phone Guy information in order for the events to work. Freddy Fazbear's first location closes in the aftermath of the missing children's incident. With no pizzeria to serve as his murder den, Afton tries to launch a new restaurant, Circus Baby's Pizza World. It's important to note that this is an actual restaurant and not the underground rental service you see in sister location. We'll get to that one much later. Based on the name, we can be confident that this place has a clown aesthetic, which makes it likely that all the animatronics who don't fit into the Freddy Fazbear series of restaurants were made specifically for this place. The Mini Renas, Balloon Boy, JJ Dee, and of course, the star attraction, Baby. Notice how they all even look alike. However, on day 1 of the restaurant opening, Elizabeth, Afton's daughter, finds herself alone with Baby and gets herself clawed. We know that it's closed on day 1, both from Baby's story and sister location,
Did you know that I was on stage once? It wasn't for very long. Only one day.
and from this hidden news story about a supposed gas leak posted on Scott's website in the lead up to the release of the game. This, in turn, explains a lot of the weirdness going on in FNAF 4. Why Elizabeth's room is empty, why Michael Afton has nightmares of animatronics with stomach mouths, and why William locks Michael in his room and has so many surveillance cameras following him around. He doesn't want what happened to his daughter to also happen to his youngest son. You see why it's so important for Circus Baby's Pizza World to happen before the events of FNAF 4 before 1983? A lot of pieces fit in place if it does. Anyway, in the aftermath of the tragedy, he buries Baby and most of the other humanoid characters underground in a facility that we'll eventually explore in sister location. The rest go on to the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which is set to reopen. But first, running parallel to all of this, and I mean all of it, is Fredbear's Family Diner. Not the sister location we visited the game's sister location, but the only sister location actually called sister location by Phone Guy during his FNAF 3 calls about spring loss.
For an unfortunate incident at the sister location,
We know for a fact that Red Bear's Family Diner is the FNAF 4 location based on this purple hat teaser that came out with the release of the game. Write the image, look down at the bottom right-hand corner, and fill in the blanks, and you get yourself property of Red Bear's Family Diner. We also know that it should fit here in the timeline because of one small detail that Scott made note of with the release of FNAF 4's Halloween edition. While Nightmare Puppet and Nightmare Mangle weren't canon, he made it clear that Nightmare Balloon Boy was. Now, if I'm right about Circus Baby's Pizza World and the red cheeked design of its characters, then the crying child would have come across Balloon Boy. He existed at this point in the timeline. But because both the puppet and Mangle don't exist until the FNAF 2 location, neither of them would be appearing in his nightmares. Therefore, not canon. Therefore, the timeline continues to make sense. So at this point, we know how the story goes. William is working there as what appears to be a suit technician. Michael Afton, aka the crying child, has witnessed his friends and maybe even his sister get killed. I mean, he's even locked in the supply closet with what appears to be the body of Golden Freddy.
safety is top priority at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is why the classics are being retired to an appropriate location while being looked at by our technicians.
At the end of the week, at his birthday party, he gets shoved into Red Bear's mouth by his brother, and crunch, he dead, son. The spirits of his dead friends, all 5 of them, remind them that they're still here for him, and the whole incident goes down in history as the fight of 83 based on both the TV Easter egg in FNAF 4 and the code in Sister Location's secret room. Oh, but again, it's here that we hit another little wrinkle. You see, in the FNAF survival logbook, it asks Michael whether his favorite ride was the carousel, a feature that was only present in the FNAF 2 restaurant. This also coincides with my hypothesis earlier about the Midnight Motorist minigame and Junior's being another name for Freddy's version 2. It would make sense that that place that he's going to is indeed him running out to the new Freddy Fazbear's location. But we know Michael was bid in 1983 and that the FNAF 2 location is open in 1987 based on the paychecks you see in the game. Fortunately, though, there's an elegant solution this time. The FNAF 2 location is just open earlier than we thought. Remember, Red Bear's Family Diner being open doesn't preclude a new Freddy's location from also being open at the same time. The new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria is just open earlier than we all thought, at least as early as 1983, and continuing through 1987 when a new series of murders happens and the Planet A7 gets it closed down. This all allows Michael to visit that place again, have the carousel be escaped, but still died in 1983. And because William doesn't want to lose another child, especially since he's in his own killing spree, he puts security cameras everywhere and uses the illusion sound discs first introduced in the Twisted Ones novel to scare Michael away from the restaurant. That's what it means by he'll be sorry when he gets back. William is intentionally locking him in his room, giving him nightmares. That's why Michael is so scared by the time we see him in FNAF 4. Additionally, Ultimate Custom proves that the Nightmare animatronics are just that, nightmares, illusions.
This time, there is no further illusion to fear. I am given flesh to be your tormentor.
Both these lines indicate that before they were just an illusion, they had no flesh. But now, the latest game, they are real. So contrary to popular belief, these things were never real animatronics. Just a glorified way for William to keep his son away from his murder locations. Except obviously it didn't work. Despite his best, well, maybe not his best, but definitely his most stalkerish efforts, Michael gets crunched and dies. A fact that becomes very problematic for the timeline, considering that Michael Afton clearly survives till the end of the game. We see him in Sister Location. We watch him get scooped. We hear about him burning in FNAF 6. How is all of that possible if he's already dead? Surprisingly, there is a way to solve it, and I have the evidence to prove it, but sadly, we'll have to wait till next time. This ended up being a 12-page script, which there's no way that we can do all in 1 week. So in the word,
Now that you've seen the Carvana app, any questions?
Hi, Becky here. What if I have a
Yesterday was so amazing. Cuties there, everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Like friend. This time you'll have to keep up with me. Oh, never mind. He's the purple man. Oh, God.
exotic. But hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, where before we close the book on our final FNAF theory, it's time to open the book on new Back to School merch. Or back to work post summer vacation merch. Anyway, you guys know that I take merch super seriously, but this time I wanted to try something really different. You guys clearly like mysteries and theories, right? Well, this is, as far as I know, the first ever YouTuber merch that gets totally meta. That's right, I have personally made a real world mystery for you to solve alongside the rest of the theorist community hidden inside of this round merch. This first one isn't too hard. It's about a 5-step treasure hunt, but it's something I'd like to do moving forward with all future merch pushes, so, you know, if this one gets you warmed up, future ones are going to get real serious. Oh, and of course, there's a real-life reward for the first 100 people who get to the end of this little treasure hunt. You're going to be in the same group as the people with the golden coins from last merch push, so, you know, rewards are coming. We're keeping track of this stuff. So, where could these clues be hiding? Let me show you what I got. This time we worked with the factory for 4 months to have a specialty fabric made for our t-shirts. This isn't just your typical ink some stuff on a shirt merch. It is all built into the fabric itself. It comes in genocide run or so get on it. Ace your back. Some new game theories. Question. If Michael Afton is the crying child who gives himself bid, then how is he able to come back later in the timeline for games like Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator? Well, this is where the books once again come in to give us the solution that no one would have predicted. You see, at the end of FNAF 4, we get the lines, "We are still your friends. Do you still believe that? I will put you back together." We've never actually established who speaks those words. Ultimately, the best guess that we had was the puppet. But here's the thing. He can't be the puppet. Based on this, my final and best timeline of events, William hasn't killed Henry's daughter yet. The puppet isn't possessed yet. Instead, that line is more likely coming from William. It makes a fateful promise to his dead son. "I will put you back together." The thing is, he thinks that promise a lot more literally than any of us would have ever suspected. He is literally promising to physically put his son back together as a robot. And we know from the final FNAF novel, The Fourth Closet, that William in that story is obsessed with bringing life to these machines. And even more importantly, we know that in Scott's vision of this world, robots who think they're human and don't realize that they're robots is a real thing. A huge twist at the end of the final FNAF novel is that the main character, Charlie, Henry's daughter, is actually revealed to be one of these sorts of robots. And not just a single robot, mind you. Charlie is one in a series of 4 robots. That's what the title of the book is referencing. She was kidnapped and killed by Afton as a 3-year-old girl, and in his grief over losing his daughter, Henry built 4 robotic versions of her, each one slightly older than the last, implanting each version with memories so that she could grow up just like a normal kid. Quote, Charlie would be a baby, then a little girl, then a salty teenager, then at last she would be a woman. She would be finished. Perfect. End quote. It's weird, definitely, and it opens up a whole heck of a lot of plot holes in the novel, but I honestly think that this might be what happens to Michael Afton in the game. Clearly, he dies during the fight of 83. The survival logbook confirms this over and over and over again. That is locked in. But Michael is literally rebuilt by Afton, put back together by William. The books allude to it, it fits with the timeline, and most importantly of all, it explains why he doesn't die after getting spooked in Sister Location.
I should be dead, but I'm not.
Why his memory is so foggy throughout the survival logbook, but most importantly of all, why he can only die through the fire. You ever stop to consider that? Michael Afton lives through getting himself scooped at the end of Sister Location, but passes on just like all the other animatronics at the end of FNAF 6. The remnant in his body is burned away. Remember, based on our timeline, William Afton has already seen his daughter die in Circus Baby, and has also probably seen that her spirit possesses the suit. So he knows it's possible for a living spirit to be inside these robots. It actually might be why he sends Michael down to explore Sister Location in the first place.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I put it back together, just like you asked me to.
He knows that Michael's sister, his daughter, is still down there, so he's aware of what she is, and it might be his way of breaking the news to Michael. Hey there, kiddo, there was something I was meaning to tell you, but unfortunately, kind of trapped in a wall right now. So go down into that creepy cellar I have and pay a visit to your sister. She might prompt some really existential revelations. And lastly, consider this, in the bonus cutscenes for Sister Location, Baby establishes that she knows that Michael can't die. So she might just recognize that they're one and the same. This insane sounding theory, and trust me, I recognize that it sounds completely bonkers. They actually tie into the mystery of the FNAF 4 box. What's in it? It might actually be Michael Afton's body. Yeah, remember I just said that in the Fourth Closet, the main character was actually the third in a series of 4 robots? Well, she almost gets herself killed at the end of book 2, and is discovered midway through book 3, locked in a box that sounds very similar to the one that appears at the end of FNAF 4. Quote, John moved to a large green chest, the paint almost entirely worn off. There was no lock. John knelt beside it, found the handle, and peeked it open, and shuddered. It's Charlie, he said hoarsely. In the chest. She was locked in a box. That's insane. She was locked in a box. Who knows for how long? Days? Months? End quote. I actually know how long she was trapped in the box. It was 6 months. So anyway, is this definitive proof of what's in the box and that Michael Afton is a robot? No. But it's definitely circumstantial evidence. And think about this. Remember that Scott kept the box locked because he was worried that the fan base wouldn't accept the answer to what was inside of it. Well, you blame him. If he kept a broken robot kid inside of the box, that would probably upset a few people because at this point in the series, it would literally come out of nowhere. Up to FNAF 4, this was just the story of a creepy, haunted animatronic pizzeria. Nothing about robot kids or anything like that. The last stretch of the series just went into some weird directions. Anyway, with the bite of 83, Fredbear's Family Diner closes, leaving only Freddy Fazbear's second location, Junior's, a new, larger location with upgraded security in the form of the toy animatronics. But after all missing children from their last endeavor, Henry wanted to take an extra special precaution to further protect his daughter. He installed an upgraded surveillance system in the form of security puppets, specifically programmed to watch one child, his daughter. As an added nod to where security puppet fits into the timeline, Scott very clearly included the puppet's signature gift box as part of the visuals in its minigame in FNAF 6, a box that only occurs in the FNAF 2 location. You can even see what looks to be wanted posters in the back alley, thereby establishing that a crime had been committed in this area previously. William Afton returns, and because he's a prime suspect in the missing children's incident, is not allowed back in the pizzeria. That's why we see him turned away at the door to Junior's. As a result, he's forced to kill Henry's daughter outside, behind the facility. Her soul goes on to possess the security puppet, and she proceeds to give life to all the other lost souls still trapped in the original 5 animatronics. We know this based on the Save That minigame, where we see the puppet searching for someone to help the dead children lying around the pizzeria. The toy animatronics are standing on stage lightly. But most tellingly of all, we see the original versions of Foxy, Chica, and Bonnie enacted in the parts and supply room, and Freddy is somehow able to freely move around. This shows us that some of the OG animatronics haven't been given gifts, given life yet. It's also worth noting that on rare instances, we get an Easter egg of Golden Freddy broken there on the floor, his ghostly self phasing into and out of existence. And that's not all. Get close to him, and for a brief moment, you catch a glimpse of a white dot appearing in his eye. Golden Freddy has the spirit of Cassidy already in him, except there are 2 problems. First, he's a spring-lock suit. Unlike the others, he can't freely move around because he's not kept in animatronic mode. Despite the puppet's best attempts, Cassidy will be forever trapped in a suit that is perpetually slumped over. But secondly, the yellow Golden Freddy suit is being kept like we saw in the FNAF 4 location. Hence why in FNAF 2 and then onward in the series, he's forced to remain as just a speed.
Switching to Allstate is easy, and saving is even easier. Click for a low auto rate today.
Afton continues to sneak into the pizzeria disguised as a security guard, using his signature spring-lock suit and crank to kill kids. This prompts the animatronics to get angry and attack anyone in a security guard uniform. As we see throughout the FNAF novels, and as the puppet reinforces an ultimate custom knife,
The others are like animals, but I am very aware.
so they're not rationally thinking, which results in Night Guard Bernard turned into Dave Jeremy Fitzgerald, getting his front pole no fix, and then known as the Bite of 87. And henceforth, animatronics are no longer allowed to free roam in the restaurants. In total, another 5 children died in the FNAF 2 location. Again, shown through the Save Them minigame before the place is shut down and the toy animatronics get scrapped. Since, let's be honest, they were all kind of crap at their job anyway. But more importantly, it's at this point that Afton realizes the power of children's souls. It's here where he first sees the animatronics moving freely, possessed by the spirits of the dead children and activated by the puppets. And here, through the end of the series, his mission changes. He's no longer just regular kids. He's now looking to actively harness that power for himself so he can be immortal. It's a goal he expresses in the fourth closet. Quote, "You killed them. They died in the suits. Their bodies were bound inside along with their souls. The spirit follows the flesh and also the pain. If I wish to become my own immortal creation, my body must leave my spirit to its eternal home." This affects all his future actions in the series. So when the withered animatronics get sent back to the FNAF 1 location for storage and the possible reopening of the pizzeria, William tracks them back to dismantle them and discover their power. This leads to the cutscenes from FNAF 3, where William systematically lures the original animatronics to the back safe room one by one, only to dismantle them. Before, these cutscenes seemed super random. It just seemed like him trying to get rid of the animatronics for reasons. But now, thanks to the novels, we actually know why he did it, to dissect the robots and experiment on them. And it's these experiments that end up producing the Funtime animatronics. One big lingering question mark of the series was the nature of Funtime
make
animatronics
real
underground during the
extremely
How were they alive? Were they
detailed
possessed by
liquids
undead
like
kids? Are they answer their courtesy of
coffee,
Canada and
tea,
the fourth closet? No,
bottle,
Fantastic Canada
and
stories were a
pupils,
mystery.
and then everything else is just like
Five
so
victims,
cartoonish,
five
and I love it so
victims,
much.
one coffin, 5 begins sacrificing
And people
five
don't like that style for some
boxes.
reason.
Ennard, the amalgamation of all the other animatronic parts, but the math was always kind of wonky. Ennard consisted of Baby, Melora, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy, which is just 4 animatronics. Maybe if you squinted at it, it would include the Bonnie puppet, but that seemed like a stretch. And as a result, we just weren't quite sure what was going on with those stories. Luckily, the release of the fourth closet has cleared this mystery up. Quote, "A single figure stood still amongst the chaos, out of phase with his surroundings. At first, it seemed to be a man bent over a table, but as Carlton's head throbbed with waves of confusion, the man became a yellow rabbit, not standing over a table, but over 5 children, tied together as one. He knew exactly what he was looking at. The endoskeletons of the original Freddy's animatronics, welded and melted together, immobile and featureless, and still inhabited by the spirits of the children who had been murdered inside of them so many years ago. Still filled with life, emotion, and thought, all trapped, all in terrible pain." End quote. So in the FNAF 3 cutscenes, we see William dismantle the animatronics. From there, he melts down their endoskeletons to discover the secret of their everlasting life. He then uses this molten spirit metal, remnant, to infuse life into his new creation, the Funtime animatronics. Quote again, "The table's surface was glowing orange and the hot metal hissed. William took a syringe from the woman's hand and thrust it into the squirming thing forcefully. He drew the plunger up, holding the needle steady as the syringe filled with molten substance. He staggered back toward the bear. The man again pried open the heavy chest plate of the standing, broken bear, then carefully inserted the syringe he held directly into the chest cavity and began to press the plunger down. What this and the Candy Cadet stories tell us is that the Funtimes weren't just possessed by new kids, they were created from the remnant of the original 5, fused together into one chaotic, confused spiritual mess. Like Ennard said from his original teaser for Sister Location, there's a piece of me in every body." From those experiments, William is able to open Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals, the underground facility from Sister Location. Using Remnant, he brings life to animatronics specifically designed to lure and trap kids so he can have more test subjects for his experiments. He then rents the robots out to special events and other locations. Why isn't there a Funtime Chica in Sister Location? Simply because she's rented out. We see this hidden in the source code to Scott's website around the time of Sister Location's release. Chica's Party World is a separate location, a client of Afton Robotics, and as such, she's not being kept underground with the rest of them. That's why she's gone, only to then reappear in FNAF 6 and Custom Night. But there was one thing that William Afton didn't anticipate in all his plans: the spirits of the children wanting revenge. Now that they were freed from their animatronic prisons, they corner William in the safe room of the first Freddy Fazbear's restaurant, forcing him to hide out in the golden body suit, which snaps shut, almost killing him, but not quite. Just
Oops.
transforms him into Springtrap. The restaurant seals the safe room and everything inside to escape liability.
Previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations, including this.
To me, this seems like the actions of Henry. Who else would seal a bloody, living body in a hidden room in a pizzeria? Henry seems like the best bet, but we can't know for sure. Regardless, Afton is locked back there until the year 2023 when Fazbear Fright opens. The phone dude discovers the hidden room and sets Afton, now Springtrap, loose once more. From there, we know pretty much everything else. Springtrap caused Fazbear Fright only to have it burned down. It seems to me that this again was Henry's doing. The ultimate Custom Night Samurai cutscenes symbolize their relationship. William Afton is the fox, and Freddy is Henry, the bear of vengeance. The last line of dialogue in these samurai cutscenes says it best: "I will pursue the fox. I will find him in whatever land he is fled to. It is my destiny, and it is his." Throughout the games, Henry is constantly trying to thwart William in escalating fashion. He starts by getting him kicked out of the FNAF 2 location. He then tries to get him arrested in the aftermath of the missing children's incident. He traps him, leaving him spring-locked in the walls of Freddy Fazbear's, and finally he sets him on fire not just once in Fazbear Fright, but a second time in Pizzeria Simulator. Meanwhile, the rebuilt Michael Afton, like old version 2.0, searches for his dad to get some answers. He starts in Sister Location, meets Baby, but falls victim to the plot of furious tangle of spirits held in the various Funtime animatronics. Together, they form Ennard and scoop Michael's body in an attempt to escape their prison. The scooping plan works, but Michael survives because, remember, he's a robot. Baby seems to know this based on her repeated use of more in need of answers than ever before. Michael promises his father, which leads us at last to FNAF 6. Even though the puppet tried to free the spirits of the dead
It's
children
made of
in FNAF 3,
skin.
it doesn't quite
It's
work.
made of
This
skin.
means the spirits were no longer complete, with parts of their souls now trapped in the Funtime animatronics, which themselves are now in the form of Freddy. 4 is such
The
a
clock's
big
on
deal
out
about
of skin.
Based on
Great.
the Insanity Ending Blueprints, paragraph 4 stipulates that all creatures
Because it's tannish.
so by the end of the week, so that when it burns, everyone goes with it. All remaining remnants must
Because
be
of
burned in
why
order for the souls to
not,
finally
dude.
be set free. Michael accepts the role as night guard at the simulated pizzeria. Henry summons all the animatronics there, burns it all to the ground, and finally releases everyone, including Devin William to hell. Well, he did release everyone. Golden Freddy, still a vengeful spirit, has a bone to pick with Willie, so she traps him in purgatory, forcing him to suffer for eternity at the hands of the monsters he created. And despite Old Man Consequences telling her to relax, she won't quit, hence her soul still being in Golden Freddy's twitching eyes as he fades out into the darkness and as the series hits its final films. I don't know about you, but between these last 2 videos, I think that's about as thorough as you could possibly want. So there you have it, FNAF theorists, as deep of a deep dive as I can go, trying to answer as many questions as possible, all while putting things into an order that makes sense, while also accounting for as much of the evidence as possible. Is it a perfect timeline? No, but I don't think there can be. I think Mr. Hippo's custom timelines point us in that direction.
I suppose if a person just wants to talk, then it's best to not announce that you're telling a story. Telling a story does come with its own pressure and expectations, I suppose. After all, if you're just talking to a friend, there's no more expectations than if you were talking into the wind. Words by themselves aren't expected to carry, aren't expected to stick. But if you announce you're telling a story, well, then there better be a point to it all,
And conversely, at some point, you just analyze down a story to the point of meaninglessness. In the end, whether this whole timeline is right or wrong, decoding FNAF's Labyrinth of lore has been the single most exciting and enjoyable challenge I've covered on this channel. Yeah, we've covered it a lot. A bit more than I would have liked, quite honestly, but for good reason. Few games give their story this much thought, and even fewer games tell their stories in such a compelling, mysterious way. I've said this for a while. No. No, God, no! No! No, God, no! 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 Screw it. Let's talk about this thing. By all that's unholy, FNAF is somehow back. Someone got together their little summoning circle of Funko plushies and recycled Chuck E. Cheese pizza and awakened the sleeping behemoth that is Scott Cawthon, and now here we are with a new trailer for FNAF 7 and me, in children's pajamas. Thank you, Internet. Also, can we just agree that this is creepy, right? Not me wearing kids' keychains, certainly, though. I would think that is really weird. No, the fact that I'm in a nightie that is dedicated to an animatronic that gets dead children stuffed in it. God, man.
Like
Merch-
2 minutes. No, really.
Now, at the end of last summer, FNAF was basically done. The book series had concluded, FNAF 6 had burned the series to the ground, and Ultimate Custom Night ended the story by trapping William Afton in eternal torment. All that was really left was the movie. Just like Jeremy laid to rest on a nearby hillside, it was time for the series to finally rest in peace. But then, back in November, Scott hopped onto Steam to give all us breadheads an update, and suddenly, the movie was the least certain thing of the group. A VR game? An AR game? More books? A third new game called Into Madness? Clearly, Scott intended me to be the protagonist in that one, since that's exactly where I'm headed to with so much new FNAF headed our way. Even a AAA game, where apparently instead of stuffing children into animatronics, they started getting stuffed into loot boxes. Fast forward 4 months to today, here we are, with the first new Scott Cawthon teaser in nearly a year. A teaser for one of the items on this massive list of animatronic horror sent to taunt me, but which one is it, and what it means for this new era of FNAFing is exactly what we're exploring today. So, let's get analyzing. First, let's just assess what we're seeing here, shall we? Clearly, we have 5 animatronics that are all melted together, which would be interesting enough on its own, but making it even more compelling is the fact that they all span the history of the franchise. You have Freddy, Foxy, and Bonnie, all in their FNAF 1 forms, but then you also have the pretty mangled form of Funtime Foxy from Sister Location, and also Pre-Trap Springtrap from, well, a lot of different cutscenes throughout the series, but most notably from the Fruity Maze minigame dating into FNAF 6. You can actually tell this based on the general shape of the nose, as well as the lack of decay and aging that you normally see post-Springlock failure. But since this is a Scott Cawthon teaser,
Gonna
you know there's
continue
gonna be more here than just cool
recording.
images.
Okay.
If you throw this thing into Photoshop and start brightening it up, step 1 in any FNAF teaser analysis, you're going to see the background has lines. Lines with some oddly inconsistent spacing. And of course, you have text. The quote is from Fazbear Entertainment in the upper right-hand corner, saying that everything is working as intended, but also a not quite so hidden bunch of text right here in the middle of the image that you really gotta squint to truly read. Don't listen to them blank, let something inside. It was an accident. Remember Jeremy. Jeremy? That's the guy from the gravestone. The night guard who has his name on the paycheck from FNAF 2. The supposed Bite of 87 victim. Ladies and gentlemen, sound the alarms. We are talking about the Loeb lad himself, which means that there's only one option here. We are in the same continuity. Cue the party horns and cheerful children sound effects. I know we were all eager to throw out our textbooks at the end of last semester, guys. It's time to break out FNAF lore for dummies one final time. Whoopity-doo! Who's excited? This guy, I guess. Now, creating my own ARG over the last couple months has taught me a lot of things, specifically better ways to hide and code messages. And one particularly effective but simple way to do it is by opening image files as text files. So if we open this image file in Notepad, we actually get our answer to that first missing word. Don't listen to them. We let something inside. It was an accident. Remember Jeremy. So with all of that evidence compiled, let's start analyzing before we start digging deeper. Because because there's a lot deeper to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are just scratching the surface. Now, the phrase "remember Jeremy" actually tells us a lot of things here. First, it tells us both the speaker of that line and the person it's directed to know who Jeremy is. Secondly, it tells us that the events of this game are happening in the aftermath of his death, which at this point is commonly accepted to be the result of the fight of 87. So from a timeline perspective, it looks like this quote is coming after 1987, meaning that we're after the string of murders in the FNAF 2 location and around the time of Michael Afton's revisit to the FNAF 1 building and his discovery of sister locations. In fact, knowing where in the timeline this quote was called and seeing those lines in the background of the teaser, my mind immediately jumped.
Cat.
Now, that seems like it might be a stretch.
Get out of
Clearly,
my
these are just meant to be titles, and while yes, that's probably what they are, the inconsistent spacing still felt weird to me, and it resembled the narrow strip of horizontal bars that many prison doors have. Now think back, way back, to when this story first started. Back to the secret newspapers from FNAF 1. The thing that first told us that there was a deeper story to begin with. Quote, video surveillance identified the man responsible and led to his capture the following morning. And on the follow-up story, headline, 5 children now missing, suspect convicted. While the suspect has been charged, the bodies themselves were never found. End quote. So if these newspaper clippings are still considered canon, this former employee was convicted, meaning that they found him guilty, and as a result, most likely he went to prison for his crime. And we can be fairly confident that this isn't Afton, since his only comeuppance seems to have been the Springlock failure and the eventual eternal torment in HE double toothpicks, meaning that there is still a
Toothpicks.
targeted hold of someone there who's trapped in prison, wrongfully accused, haunted by the nightmarish amalgamation of animatronics that got him thrown into the slammer. At least, that's my wishful thinking for a potential plotline for one of these stories. Is it the story that we're getting in this game?
Nice ride.
Want to give it a spin?
Coffee's enough excitement for me.
Probably not. Let's go back to the text.
Deal.
Don't trust them. That them could be referring to the animatronics, or it could be referring to the members of Fazbear Entertainment. That quote in the upper corner saying that everything is working as intended. Now,
I
as
love that
established by
how
both the
realistic
Customized
the eyes
and only
are.
haunted characters who still possess rational thought are Baby and the puppet,
The others are like animals, but I am very aware.
which eliminates everyone that we currently see on screen here, thereby making it doubtful that the them in this quote is referring to the animatronics. Instead, this seemed to be 2 employees of Fazbear Entertainment talking to each other, basically confirming not to trust what the bosses are saying. All the other lines here, we let something in, it was an accident, remember Jeremy, seem like those same coworkers realizing that something is wrong and that it relates to a mistake that they made, a mistake that's ultimately related to Jeremy's death, and now they're both worried about their own survival. Remember Jeremy seems to me to read more like, hey, remember that guy? We don't want to end up like him. So now, looking back at the game, what are some of the mistakes where something deadly has been let in? Well, we've got spring trap.
Can you guys heal? I hope you can heal. I'm live. I'm live. I will wrap it up. There's like a few seconds left. What? I know, but I'm live, and there's literally just the outline to do. 10 minutes max. Okay, sounds good. Okay, that's it. Bye.